Mama, I'm lesbian. Mama, no.
So, after being born into this village that looks like it has never seen better days, I wanted to make something, but I didn't know what. But the one thing that I did know at the time was that I needed a backpack. So I tried to get a fat kid to let me quote unquote see their backpack real quick. That way, I can then yoink it and run off with it as soon as they gave it to me.
Yo cuz, let me see that back. Damn.
Unfortunately for me, it seemed like he couldn't read, since he just ignored me and ran off. Now after that, I ran around a bit, taking in the shithole of a place that I was just born in. Then I saw the cow. That's when I knew what I needed to do. And that is to make a milk bar. That's right, a motherfucking milk bar. Now I know what you're thinking. Damn, Steve, you're a freaking genius. It's super good looking with a massive pee-pee. Come on, guys, come on. You flatter me, but I do appreciate it. And I will say that sometimes I do scare myself with the amazing ideas that I come up with. Now, in order to make this happen, I was going to need to make a building. So I am actually going to need to put in a bit of effort here and work for once. So I decided to make the walls of the building out of adobe, since I thought those were the easiest walls to make at the time. And by easy, I mean quickest, since I ain't trying to spend a long time making this. Then I found a horse with a cart, and I filled that cart up with baskets that I yoinked around this place. That way I can bring back a lot of adobe in one trip. Then I ate some food real quick and set off. I headed south looking for a swamp that had enough reeds and clay for me to gather. And luckily for me, there was one somewhat close by, so I didn't have to go that far to get them. Now, gathering all the adobe that I needed felt like it took forever. And it did not help that the fucking horse kept moving around. It was so goddamn annoying. Now, during all this, I did almost starve to death since I did not bring any food with me. But I luckily found some berry bushes that I was able to berry munch on, which did bring back some great memories for me. To a time before berry munching was outlawed and punishable by death if you're caught doing it. Now it seems like the wild is the only safe place for us berry munchers. Stay strong out there, wherever the rest of you may be. Now after choking down some berries, I kept gathering more reeds and clay to make more adobe, and then tossing them into the baskets, then the cart. And then after what felt like forever, I finally had a full cart to take home. And once I got back, I set up my milk bar location, which was to the left of the smithy and the animal pen. I made sure I was far enough that I would not be in the way of anybody, while making sure that I was close enough so that people can still see it while doing stuff around the village. I didn't want to make it too big because 1, it would take too long to make, and 2, I did not want to take up too much space. So the plan was to make the building 5 by 5. That way the inside would be 3 by 3, and I was going to make a counter by using tables in the middle and add a cow pen in the back.
Bitch, I'm a cow.
With its own entrance. Now, even though I got a lot of adobe, it was barely enough to make all the walls that I needed. And by the time I was done placing all the walls, I was old, and my body was getting ready to see God.
God damn it. I'm too fucking old now.
But before that, I decided to run to the nursery to let everyone know.
I'm old as shit now. Damn, you old as hell as well, huh? Yeah, we about to die. Hold my hand. Let's go to the light together. They got Taco Tuesdays.
Now, after death, I revived once more into the same family. And after I was old enough, I set off again to finish what I started. And I already had the walls up, but I just needed to place the floor. So I gathered some logs and maybe yoinked 1 or 2 of them. Then I yoinked the mallet and a steel throw. And I went to town on some logs. Giggity. Not in that way. And I turned them into boards. Then, after installing 6 of the 9 floors that I needed, I got a bit afraid that the steel throw would break on me, and I would be left with an unfinished floor. Since I was not trying to forge a new one to finish it, I decided to make the last 3 out of pine instead. Now, I'm sure I surprised some of you with everything that I have done so far, and I'm sure some of you are thinking, God damn, I had no idea he knew how to do so many things in this game. Look, just because I fucked around 99.9% of the time in this game does not mean I wasn't paying attention when I was calling babies ugly. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but I am pretty intelligent. Now, after the walls were up and the floors were placed, I moved on to making the cow pen in the back. It was just going to be made from property fence twigs, which is really easy to make. You just take a flint and use it on a wood stick of some kind to get your property fence sticks. So after placing the outline of the pen, I made a table using 2 shafts and some boards. While I was doing that, someone made a door for me, which was really nice. Thank you to whoever that was. But before I made 2 more tables, I added the fence to the back. Then I finished the last 2 tables that I needed. Now, all that was left to finish the building was to make a door for the front, and I decided to make that door out of pine. So all I needed was some pine needles, a shaft, and a rope to make a pine panel. Then I add a handle to it to turn it into a pine door. Before I added the handle to the pine panel, I placed the panel in place, which was not a good idea. You see, because of that, I was no longer able to turn it into a door. And I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, Steve, I thought you knew how to do things in this game now. Look, in my defense, okay, I thought it was like the gate thing. You know, because to make a gate, you first make a fence, then you add the handle to the fence to turn it into a gate. And I, for some reason, thought that it would work the same here, okay? So, am I really that wrong to assume that it would work the same way here? You know what? Don't answer that. Let's just move on. Because this part really pissed me off. Because I was forced to run around to look for an axe that we did not have for way too long. Till I was forced to make one in order to break down the wall that I just placed down. Luckily for me, there was already someone making stuff in the forges, so I asked them if they could make one for me.
Hey, you. Can I get an axe head, please?
All right.
And they agreed. And while I was waiting, I placed the cow in the back. Then I grabbed the axe head that was made, and I added a shaft to it to make a finished axe. Then I broke down the wall, and I finally made a pine door without fucking it up first. Now, at this point, I was proud of myself. I have accomplished a good amount in only 2 lives. Sure, there were some bumps in the road, but I got it done. So while I was getting food, I was thinking about coming back for another life and making a sign for the front of the building that read Milk Bar. That was till I ran back to my freshly finished building to find someone doing this to it.
Why?
It's interfering with Smith.
All right, I guess.
All my hard work was being torn down right in front of me, all because one person decided that it was in the way of what he wanted to make.
I worked hard on this. How could you?
You can move it.
So, I guess there will be no milk bar after all.